Hello all and welcome to another episode of The Late Booter, where instead of getting up as early as I possibly can and trying to get into that boot sale as soon as it opens to beat everybody to the good stuff, I go late, go a couple of hours late when it's nice and cheap to get in and see if I can still find something I can add to my collection, or just something that I can help use to fund my collection, whether it be via reselling or that good old CEX trade credit. So yes, going late, might still buy something that interests me. That's also another option. That's happened quite a bit in the past. Now it's to be a beautiful day, can you guess the film, and we're not that far away. We're about 10-15 minutes away, which will bring us up to around about the 12 o'clock mark, so I might slow down a few paces just to make sure we're after and slotting nicely into that cheap zone. But yes, we're not that far away, so we'll take a nice casual stroll and we'll soon be at that booter.
You remember, right? Which one? £10. All complete, yeah. All complete, brother. All complete, all the size complete. No. Comprendo.
We never like the last properly, right? Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, guys.
No, because I've already earned something.
Yeah, we've still got 4 hours.
That's true, that's true.
I'm coming. Come on, let's go up there.
Morgan took it out.
Okay, so done at the booter, and I've only left with a couple of bits, but I have left with a couple of bits. I've left with a game, and I've left with a piece that interested me and was able to get for what I think is not a bad price. So we'll show you those when I get home in a bit. But let's just talk about what I left behind and what I saw. Obviously in the footage you'll have seen me walk up to a stall which had a couple of third-party controllers and an official PS2 controller. But I tested out the shoulder button on that and it was, well, it was pissing about in the wind really. So that weren't worth even asking how much it was. Didn't actually even notice the PSP game right next to it until I watched my footage back as I'm walking away. Oh well, I doubt that's worth a lot, and he probably wanted more than it was worth anyway. That's what I'm going to tell myself anyway. Alright, carried on round. I think there was a couple of odd DS games scattered around. I think I saw a Scrabble game on the floor in the footage. And then I went to a stall which has some PS3 and some 360 games on the table. And they weren't in great condition, and to be honest with you, they wouldn't. I've got them all with regards to 360. I don't think any of them would have been worth even 50p or £1 for what they were. So yeah, left all of those behind. You'll have seen me approach a basket full of PS2 games. Did have a good look through those. There were a couple that caught my eye and interested me. There was a system next to it that was beaten up. Didn't even want to know about that. Took no interest in that whatsoever. So I did ask, "Oh, will you sell the games separately?" And he very snarkily said, "Yeah." And I said, "Oh, how much do you want for the games?" And he said £1 each. And I thought about picking up a couple of them. And the first one I picked up was Kingdom of Hearts 2. That was in there. So I think that trades in for a couple of quid. But I did a disc check and it was in awful condition. And I thought, well, looking at the console, looking at that disc, I'll pass on those. And then finally, you'll have seen the Wii right at the very end, the Wii bundle there. And obviously, that caught my eye. But what's that doing there so late? And then I asked for the price and he wanted £30 all in. And I thought, Well, that's not awful, but it's an untested console, and there's a wee balance board there, which I've got to get home without a car. So I wasn't really interested in the console, but I did see the games there, and obviously I saw the Mario Kart, which is always good trade, and I tried to talk him into selling games separately, but he weren't having it. He literally weren't having it. So I was going to see if he'd come down on the console bundle, and then perhaps leave the Wii balance board behind. Just ask him, you know, all right, I'll take it, but here's the money for that. Keep the balance board, mate. He literally would not budge. So I'm guessing that's why it was still there. I was going to say, Wii's at the moment are probably the most common console about. It feels like I literally go on Facebook Marketplace and I can buy about 12. Honestly, they just seem to be everywhere at the moment. So I really didn't want a console, and I left that behind. But as I say, I have left the game in an interesting piece. But I'm going to go to the charity shops on the way home. I'm going to go to the big charity shops on the way home and see if we can pick up something extra. See what games they've got in there. I'll try and catch some footage inside those, and hopefully we'll leave with something. Obviously, I'll capture footage of the games, but I'll have a good look around at everything else as well and see if we can find something. So yeah, let's get to those charity shops. It's a fair old walk. It's a good 20 minutes for us. But we'll get a move on. Let's go. Home now, and it is indeed time for me to show you the couple of bits that I picked up from the boot sale, as well as a few bits that I have also picked up from both charity shops that I visited on the way home. Yes, as you'll have seen from the footage and the game shelves in both of those charity shops, there wasn't anything really there game-wise. Nothing of any real interest to me, nothing that I'd want to add to my collection, and certainly nothing of any real value to help build up some CEX trade credit. However, as I said, did leave with some bits from both charity shops, some bits that interested me, and some other stuff that I can still trade in at CEX. So I'll start off with the first charity shop, in which I picked up a couple of bits that interested me. And if you're a regular viewer to my channel, you may well know that I'm a big wrestling fan, and I still watch WWE up till this day. Now, I saw this book on the shelf there. Now, I already own a WWE encyclopedia, but to see this book sitting on the shelf, I don't know if you can just make that out, for only a quid, I had to have it. Like I said, I've already got a WWE encyclopedia, and it's one that was actually issued after this, but this one goes up to 2008, so it's not horrendously old, and it's a different book, so it'll have different images and artwork. So I thought, you know what, for a quid, it would be stupid to leave it behind. So yeah, nabbed that, was having that all day long. Now, this was sitting on a shelf on its own with another wrestling book. So yeah, pick that up as well. And that other wrestling book is WWF, The Official Insider Story, WrestleMania. Now, I actually thought about leaving this behind, but again, for only a quid, as a sticker on Stone Cold Steve Austin's face there shows you, I had to have it. It'd have been silly to leave it behind. And also, what really sort of sealed the deal for me is this one is branded WWF, you know, a thing that they had to change to WWE because of copyright reasons or a lawsuit that they had with the World Wildlife Fund. So to see it still branded WWF and only a quid, I had to have it again, just for the imagery and the artwork inside of it. You know, some of the old pictures, like there's The Rock dropping the people's elbow on Stephanie McMahon after she gives him a slap. So yeah, you kind of brought it on yourself there, love. So yeah, for only a quid, great book, had to have it. It's WrestleMania. It covers up to and includes WrestleMania 2000, which is WrestleMania 16. You know, so yeah, I was going to say I'm going to enjoy having a good flick through this book, have a good read of it, and again, just look at some of those images of classic wrestlers and wrestling matches from days gone by. Now, these books weren't the only thing that I left with from that first charity shop did leave with something else, because after looking at the games, of course, I'm going to have a good look over the DVD shelves, and there wasn't a single Blu-ray on them. But while I was looking at them, just seeing if there's anything worthwhile grabbing, a member of staff came over, plonked this on the shelf, and as the only Blu-ray there, I had to have a look at it. I have no idea what Kubo and the two strings are. No idea whatsoever. But I picked the game up, got my phone out, used the CX app, scanned the barcode on the back, and you'll get £5 trading credit for this. £5 trading credit for this. So I picked that up with my 2 books, took it to the counter, paid 50p for it. That's a cracking markup for just 50p, and that £5 trade credit will certainly help add towards my 360 collection. So really pleased just to nab that for 50p. Have no idea what it's about. Have you seen Kubo? Tell me in the comment section below what it's all about, because I don't have any clue whatsoever. Am I letting a good film go? I really don't know. Perhaps you can tell me that too. But anyway, that was what I got from the first charity shop. The second charity shop, again, picks up a couple of bits. And the first bit, again, great CEX trading credit. And that is the Mummy Trilogy box set. £2, as you'll see from the sticker on the front. Again, got my CX app out. I saw this box set there and I thought, let's see what the box set goes for. Scan the barcode on the CEX app and I'll get £8 trading for this at CEX. So that's a nice £6 markup in trading credit for me £2. So 50p, £4.50 up. This for £2, £6 up. It's £10.50 I've earned in trade credit from these 2 Blu-rays that I have picked up. So that's a fantastic return for my outlay. Did leave with one other Blu-ray from that second charity shop, and it was just Ted 2, as you'll see there, for just 20p. Now, I've seen both of the Ted films, Ted 1 and Ted 2, and I found them both hilarious. Both as good as each other. Really enjoyed them. And do you know what I thought? For 20p, it's no money at all, is it? 20p, I'm going to buy it and I'll give it another watch. Yeah, looking forward to watching it again. I think at CX they'll only give you 10p trading credit. I think they sell it for £2. So, I'm saving money on what I would pay for it at CEX. But I was going to say, for 20p, even if I only watch it once, give it back to charity shop and it's no real loss. So, yeah, I think that's a tiny bargain. But anyway, the 2 things that I got at the booter, the 2 things that I bought from the boot sale. Now, if you saw that Wii bundle, which I didn't get, which I told you about, wanted £30 for it, wouldn't sell the game separately. In front of that Wii was one PlayStation 3 game sitting on the floor, and it was this copy of Rayman Origins, because after I'd spoke to him about the Wii, I saw the one PS3 game there and said, oh, that PS3 game there on its own, that's nothing to do with it. How much do you want for that game, mate? And he said, oh, just give us £1. So, yeah, got me pound out, nabbed that all day long. Rayman Origins, the Essentials Edition, opening up, got a manual in it, got the Essentials disc as well. Disc is nice and clean, proper minty clean. Seriously, you could use it as a shaving mirror. It's absolutely perfect. So for £1, gonna nab that all day long. CX trading credit, they'll give me £3 for it. Another little bit of great markup there for me. Again, it all helps. I always say if I can spend £2 or less and at least double my money every time, I'm gonna go for it. So yeah, £1 for £3 trading. Thank you very much. Now the last item, I think this is a very interesting item. And when I bought it, I thought, well, it has to be worth more than I paid for it. And it's from the stall that had that PS2 controller, which was knackered. So when I picked it up, I said, mate, how much do you want for this? And this is a Jack Skellington from The Nightmare Before Christmas. I'm going to call it a goblet. I said, how much do you want for this, mate? And he said, £3. And I said, will you take 2 for it? He said, yes. Done. And as soon as I picked that up, I thought, well, if this is an official Disney product, I've done well there. And of course, after I bought it and I took it away, before I put it in my bag, I gave it an inspection. It came cling filmed like this. I was going to say, it will come out of cling film and it will still need a wash. But I saw the label on the bottom there, if I can find it again. And it's indeed official Disney product. And it's $15.99, brand new. And there ain't a mark on it. As I say, it's a little bit dusty inside. And obviously it will be washed. It's not going to be used as a goblet. It's going to just be a display piece. But that is a really nice thing. And I really do like The Nightmare Before Christmas. So, I'm a useless reseller anyway. Everything that's cool and I can make a few quid out of, I want to keep. And this is cool. And I am going to keep this. Look, it looks different on each side as well. Mouth closed, mouth open. got evil eyes on that one. You know, looking a little bit more sweet on that one. But only £2 for that, and it retails at £15.99, and it's an official Disney product. I am really, really pleased with that. That's going to look so cool on display after I've given it the once over and given it a little bit of a clean up. Great little finds, and as I say, always looking out for stuff that interests me as well. So yeah, love that at all. I can go next to my horror stuff on the side there, because it's a little bit horrorish, isn't it? Even though it is to do with Christmas, because he is a skeleton after all. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's everything I picked up. The 2 items from the booter and a few bits on the way home that made that long walk to the charity shop worthwhile, I think. So always enjoy going to the booter, always enjoy going to the charity shop. So it wasn't a day wasted, never is a day wasted, and it certainly isn't for the amount I've made in CEX trade credit today. Worth it indeed. If you have enjoyed this video, leaving a thumbs up would be awesome. If you're new to the channel and you've enjoyed this, consider subscribing. That would be awesome if you do. And if you have enjoyed this, why not tell a friend? They may like it as well. But for now, it's time for me and Jack here to thank you very much for watching. And as always, please do take care.